Mr. Hunter Biden did not pay taxes on $1 million in 2014 and 2015. And he deducted payments from his income tax for personal expenses when he did file. For hookers, for a Lamborghini, for strip clubs, for sex clubs, for porn website memberships. Why did the Department of Justice let the statute of limitations run?
As you well know, Senator.
So you can't prosecute?
Take a moment and settle in. Pour yourself a cup of coffee, take a handful of popcorn, or whatever helps you lock in without distraction, because this discussion requires focus, not noise. Welcome to Unrestricted Thinking, a space built for clear minds, disciplined reasoning, and uncompromised truth. Here your thoughts are not background chatter, they are part of a civic conversation that Washington has neglected for too long. Tonight we are examining a Senate exchange that reveals more about the state of American accountability than any headline will admit. Senator John Kennedy questioning Attorney General Merrick Garland about the handling of the Hunter Biden tax investigation and why the statute of limitations simply expired. This is not drama, this is oversight, and oversight is the backbone of a functioning republic. Let's walk through what actually happened with precision, and then we will talk about the implications, the failures, and the responsibility the public is owed. Let's begin.
I'm dying to ask you this question.
How long have you been dying to ask me this question?
Long time. Long time. Mr. Hunter Biden did not pay taxes on $1 million in 2014 and 2015. And he deducted payments from his income tax for personal expenses when he did file. For hookers, for a Lamborghini, for strip clubs, for sex clubs, for porn website memberships. Why did the Department of Justice let the statute of limitations run?
As you well know, Senator.
So you can't prosecute?
As you well know, Senator, that investigation is being conducted by Mr. Weiss, who was appointed by President Trump to be the U.S. Attorney in Delaware. Much of the investigation you're talking about occurred during the previous administration under Mr. Weiss. Mr. Weiss has continued his investigations. It's now a special counsel. He will issue a report which
So are
will
you saying
explain
it's Trump's fault?
Which will explain. No, I don't know whether there's fault or not. Mr. Weiss will explain this in his report.
But we can't. Mr. Hunter Biden walks free on not paying taxes on $1 million from 2014 and 15 because the Department of Justice let it happen, right?
Again, I'm not going to comment on decisions made in a pending investigation. In the end, Mr. Weiss will issue a report. I will provide the report to Congress. You'll be able to question Mr. Weiss as to his reasoning, and he will be able to defend his reasoning.
Would you come with Mr. Weiss when he does that?
I'm not going to know the intricacies of Mr. Weiss' investigation. There would be no point. It's Mr. Weiss who's responsible for this investigation.
But you were head of the Department of Justice.
Yes, and I've appointed him as special counsel so that he can independently investigate this matter.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Senator Kennedy. Senator Manchin.
Thank you, Madam Chairman, and thank you, Judge, for being here. I appreciate your service.
Senator Kennedy asked a direct question. How does an individual fail to pay taxes on roughly $1 million for 2 years, and the case becomes unprosecutable simply because the clock ran out? He also highlighted alleged personal expenses, luxury cars, private clubs, adult-related services, deducted as if they were business costs. Garland did not answer the question. Instead, he pointed repeatedly to David Weiss, the U.S. Attorney who handled the matter under the previous administration, now operating as special counsel. Kennedy pressed further. Bottom line, Hunter Biden avoids prosecution because DOJ let the statute expire. Garland denied that interpretation but still provided no explanation beyond Weiss will issue a report. The interaction ended. The questions did not. A statute of limitations is not political. It is a timeline. And when that timeline expires, a case dies, not on merit, but on time. That is why Kennedy's questioning was significant. He did not speculate about guilt or innocence. He asked why the federal government failed to manage a timeline on a case involving a significant amount of taxable income. Garland's position was procedural. Kennedy's position was structural. When the public sees a clock run out on a major case, the natural question is, was this mismanagement or design? That question deserves direct answers, not deferrals. Now we come to the part that must be laid out without hesitation. 1. Kennedy demanded accountability when others avoided it. He asked the questions most Americans would ask if they were sitting in that chair. Why did the timing fail? Who was responsible for monitoring it? Why was there no intervention before the deadline passed? These are fundamental oversight responsibilities. 2. Kennedy defended the principle of equal treatment. His argument was not partisan, it was constitutional. If any ordinary American behaved in the same way, timing would not save them. The law must apply evenly. That is the foundation of legitimacy in a justice system. 3. Kennedy refused to let procedural language obscure responsibility. Pending investigation cannot become a shield for every unanswered question. Government cannot selectively answer when convenient and hide behind process when uncomfortable. 4. Kennedy articulated what many Americans feel. When timing decides cases instead of facts, public trust deteriorates. Kennedy gave voice to that erosion with precision. 5. Kennedy approached the issue with the seriousness the moment required. No theatrics. No distractions. He stayed focused on timing, responsibility, and oversight, the 3 pillars any functional justice system depends on. This is why I stand with Kennedy on this matter. Not because of political identity, but because his questions reflect a core democratic principle. Power must be answerable, and timing cannot become an excuse. If you value clarity, seriousness, and calm analysis, subscribe to unrestricted thinking. This is a space where adults speak plainly, where ideas matter, and where government is expected to answer to the people, not the other way around. And now, I want to hear from you. Do you believe the statute of limitations expiring represents a failure of oversight, or a routine legal process? Your comment matters. Your voice is part of this discussion. And whether Washington admits it or not, the public is the final authority in a democracy. Here are the steps any accountable justice system should take. A full, chronological timeline of every major decision in the case. A comprehensive explanation of how and why the statute expired. DOJ-wide protocols requiring internal alerts when major cases approach deadline. Public oversight reports written in plain language, not legal obfuscation. Consistency standards ensuring all citizens receive equal treatment regardless of profile or connections. Transparent communication from the special counsel's office about delays and decision points. These are not political demands, they are structural necessities. What happened in that Senate exchange matters because it exposes a larger issue. When government allows timing failures, accountability becomes optional, and optional accountability is no accountability at all. Senator Kennedy's questioning was justified. His focus was on fundamental principles, fairness, responsibility, structure, and equal treatment under the law. But this conversation cannot end with him. It extends to you, to your expectations, your standards, your voice. Before you leave, subscribe to Unrestricted Thinking. Share this video to extend the conversation. Comment your direct, unfiltered assessment. This channel exists for one purpose: to give the public a place where clarity replaces confusion and truth is spoken without fear. Washington should hear you, and whether they admit it or not, they are.